We have next fourth task, which is a data loading task. As we have already done that, we load the data into the temporary table successfully around more than 40,000 records. Now our next aim is to move the data or load the data from temporary table to the actual table. Why we do this one? The reason is because in the temporary table we have given a free format data types. Based on those free format data types, successfully we load all the data except two records. Now, when we move the data from temporary to actual table, we may face various problems of the data formatting. So, in this particular example, we will discuss those things. So, loading the data from temporary to actual material table and task to load the data from temporary to actual material table. You have data in temporary tables and you want to move or copy data from temporary to main table. We will use insert into statement. Maybe with the direct load you can use those things as well over here. Understand an error, why the data is not loading, see where data discrepancies are there, run SQL update statements to fix the discrepancies. Let us suppose that we have temporary table and we already know that we already load the data into this table. Now we want to move the data or copy the data from temporary to material table. So it looks okay for me at the start, but when we run this one, we may face the problems. So see how problems will come up. If you run this one, it is telling that we have problem with the columns. So step by step, we should see that what exactly the column we need to know, that how we can see and how we can manage to manage this data. So let's move on to our script, which is in the C drive test folder. So in the test folder, we have a script. Basically, in this particular script, we will use few columns. So for example, we have these two columns and we try to move the data in these two columns and see that how data is basically available or can we move the data or not. So for example, in this particular case, we just build up SQL statement. Like for example, we can say insert into material this column comma this column, and then we say select these two columns from temp underscore material. So this is, let's see that whether we can move this data or not. Maybe we cannot find any problem in this one, but we will see exactly that whether we can do it or not. Move this one, we run this one. So we say temp material is not available, so we have to use as tmp temp. I think that's the best name that we have already used it. So run this command again and we will see over here that these rows are loaded. Now move on to the next two columns as well. So in those particular case, we will see that describe material. So we move on to the next two columns as well. Like for example, we can say these three columns and we will see that how these columns are managed. We have a number of column is here BD division. So let's see here, we can put BD division because data type is different. So we just checking whether maybe we are successfully managed or not. So in this particular case, first of all, we will do rollback so that we see that can we move these three columns or not. Run this one, then we'll say put over here, paste this command and run this one. So this is also successful. So in this experiment, one by one we can manage these things, like we have a BD price as well. So let's see, we roll back this one. So we have here column called BD base price. So move into here, we say put here BD BAC base price. Copy this one and we can paste over here as well. And let's see we have here or not, how we can do these things. So let's load this data because we already discarded the data. By roll back and see here, we face the problem here. So what problem is normally come up? We will say that C select BD price from material. Just see few records. Row num is less than equal to 20 and see what problem is there in this particular column. So let's see if we run this one, we see like this way, and look at here, we are taking the dollar symbol, and this dollar symbol is giving a problem because we have a data type called number. So this number is giving a problem. So dollar symbol is a character. So basically what we will do, we have to remove this one by using update statement. So we say update tmp underscore material set bd price is equal to sub str 2 comma, let's suppose we can make this one as 10 and we discard this one in the first column. So if you do this one, so this means the dollar sign will be removed. So let's see, we do this one and we run this one, we will see that whether we have a sub column or not. So these rows are updated, and suppose that we run this command again and we see that dollar symbol is gone or not. So this is how you can fix the data and make the data available. So this data is fixed, and if we make commit statement, then we will select data and load successfully. Similarly, we will find other columns as well. We fix the data, we run the update statement, and in this particular way we will manage our tasks successfully, and we load the data from temporary to actual table.